Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Shield.com. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, our monthly visit with author and well-known car professor Jack Nerad. Later, a look at the automotive headlines this week, if we get time to get them in there. We're going to do the events calendar, and Mr. Mars has his Kia Soul review we're going to put in this segment, so stay with us. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong. I'm Don Armstrong. Jeff's on vacation this week. He'll be back with us next week. We miss you, Jeff. How bad do we miss him?
Oh, we're bad. Jeff, I owe you big time.
Yeah, well, just remember that. It comes up in dollar signs, and I'm sure that Mr. Mars will gladly pay you to come back.
Next time I'll give him 2 quarters.
2 quarters, that's it. All right. Joining us now, author, professor of cars, trucks, SUVs, electrics. His name is Jack Nerad. Jack, it's always good to see you, my friend. You're looking good. How are you?
Terrific to see you guys. Thanks so much.
Well,
thanks for having me.
Thank you, as always. By the way, apparently Mars got your gift package of the books, Dance in the Dark, Jack's latest foray into novels, and we're looking forward to digging into that for you there, Jack.
I hope so. I look forward to your criticism, Don. I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, well,
Don was looking for the pictures. Yeah, he flipped through it real quick.
Yeah.
I think the cover photo is probably the best picture in the whole book.
Well, I have to tell you,
I think it's the only picture.
Yeah, well, there's that. So, Jack, how are things out there in sunny California?
Crazy. They continue to be crazy, but we're working through a bunch of different things. One of the things in California that I found interesting recently is there is an agency in California, a state agency. I wasn't aware of this state agency that looks at privacy issues, and they're looking at cars as a possible source of privacy problems, because when you stop and think about it, your car is collecting a bunch of data about you all the time, and what most people don't realize is the car companies are keeping that data a lot of the time, and that can be accessed potentially. So, if you've got an in-car camera that's looking at your face to make certain that you're, paying attention, that might be captured.
Well, let's just hope that it's only your face that they're looking at.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things people privately do in their cars that, they probably would rather not have other people see, right?
And GM OnStar has been collecting data for decades.
Yeah, exactly. So, some of it is collected like Google would collect or like Apple would collect, just to market to you and do all of that kind of thing.
Well, the first time I heard of this sort of thing, we were up visiting Lingenfelter.
Oh, yeah.
And in his collection, he had a Bugatti and a Veyron. And I said, well, boy, that's really a neat car. He says, yeah. We got to be careful what we do, because the instant that you turn it on, it is in touch with the factory, and the factory, quote unquote, is looking at the engine and all of the components in the car to make sure that everything is okay. Sure, they are. But that was the first insight into that. I had no clue that was even available. But from now, I understand it's available. Not available. It's on almost every car that is available for sale.
Yeah. And there's some cars that are collecting, they have cameras outside. Obviously, you use that for blind spot and those kind of things. But even when the car is parked, they're collecting data on people just walking by and video on people just walking by. I think the Dutch authorities got after Tesla for that because they were passing them around within Tesla. Oh, look at this. This is a good one. Check this out. Pretty bizarre stuff.
Well, see, that's what I would do. I'd go over to your desk and say, Jack, oh, my God, you're not going to believe what I've run across today. Check this out.
Well, exactly. It's kind of like people using the Google Earth video or the Google Earth pictures. And, because every now and then I'll get one from somebody, hey, check this out, and here's Gumby in a Google Earth picture at some street address somewhere.
That they passed by while they were taking the picture.
Well, the people knew the Google Earth truck was coming by or car was coming by.
They were outside, right about them. So, Jack, I want to know, we had a story. We had Consumer Reports on earlier on our show talking about this, and it's a lawsuit out of California about a group suing Tesla because they say that the car gets whatever it is, 350-mile range, and in true form, actually the real mileage in a warm condition is like 100 miles less than that. What have you got on that?
This might really blow up. I mean, we've been talking about that on America on the Road, the radio show that I do, because in a way, this has a lot of symptoms of Dieselgate, right? What Volkswagen did and what some of the other manufacturers did to manipulate things in their favor, right?
Right.
And it sounds like this is all alleged. This is not proven. This is not proven in court. But there's the possibility that Tesla has kind of rigged the system in its favor. And what they're suggesting is a lot of times the car will give you a more optimistic prediction of what your range is going to be than what it really is going to be.
Yes.
And it gives you a warm feeling about the car, but then you're kind of, your hopes are dashed, right? Right when you're, oh boy, I'm barely going to make it to the next supercharger situation. So this could be a big deal because they're alleging this, and they're alleging that there is money that has been lost by the consumers because they bought a car that actually has lower range than they were led to believe.
Well, and my opinion is class action lawsuits are about making attorneys rich. The members of the class make very little. Look, somebody's now suing Taco Bell because there's not enough meat in their Mexican pizza. They're all looking for who's got the pockets, and they want to go sue somebody who's got the pockets.
Right, and I know that, this group of lawyers is looking for other plaintiffs, right, other people to join the suit. They'd love to have, hundreds, if not thousands of Tesla owners, because that would just make the pot bigger.
Jack, one article I read, and I don't remember exactly where I read it, talked about how they test the EVs, and they usually put them on a dyno. They set the speed at 50 miles an hour, which is what I thought was kind of weird, and they just let it run until the battery goes dead. And when the battery goes dead, they recharge it, and they do the test. I think it said 3 times. And they take that average, and that's where they come up with the mileage. They don't take any account that it's 148 degrees out here in East Texas. Right. They don't take into account that it's 40 below in Montana, or that somebody's driving 80 instead of 50. And I thought, how can you even expect this to be even close if you've got it under such controlled conditions that nobody uses?
Right. Well, it reminds me of the early days of the fuel economy numbers that were way off. And then they had to adjust that significantly because they were, 25% higher than they should have been, that kind of thing. So I think they're still honing in on what range really is in an electric vehicle. As you point out, when you have extremes in temperature, either way, and you're using either heat or air conditioning and other factors, that's going to knock down your range big time, and that can be a big problem.
Well, Jack, I was telling everybody that, there was several years ago that I went to a test track facility for one of the manufacturers, and there were some cars out there on the test track. I said, oh, what are they doing? Oh, well, that's the EPA getting the mileage for the cars. And I said, oh, well, what's it like to have government employees? And they said, oh, no. That's not the EPA government people. That's our people. We just supply them with the numbers. And I was kind of blown away by that. It wasn't an EPA person in there. They just go by the rules that are written by the EPA to perform the test.
Contractors.
Exactly. There's some auditing done probably. Every now and then they'll pull a vehicle and EPA will actually see if it's matching up. But it's largely up to the manufacturers to provide the data. And that's what they draw the EPA numbers from. Yeah.
So what have you driven lately that sets you up and goes, oh, I really like that car?
Yeah, I had a couple recently. I got a chance to drive the 2024 Mustangs, the GT and the EcoBoost recently. And, those are really nice cars in that old kind of, this is just a good car, good value kind of way. I like them a lot. I like the way they look. I like what they've done to the interior of the vehicles. little more horsepower for each of them. GT is very old school with a V8 engine. The EcoBoost has a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, so you can get that. I think they've done a good job. And of course, it's good to see the Mustang stick around, right? With Camaro leaving us at the end of the year.
Again.
As his Challenger,
Yeah, exactly. Those kind of cars going away. So nice to see that Ford has renewed that vehicle.
Well, I'm interested in the EcoBoost 4-cylinder. That's over 300 horsepower, isn't it?
Yeah, 315 horsepower. I think they upped it 5 horsepower for this time around. We drove it in the hills above eastern Los Angeles, hills, kind of mountains, I guess, San Bernardino Mountains. Had a blast. Very torquey car. I think it's got more than 325 pound-feet of torque, peak torque, which is, quite good. And it's available fairly low in the RPM band. So, very flexible engine. It's a pretty good performance car. I mean, I like the more horsepower of the GT with the V8 engine, but at the same time, you can get an EcoBoost for something like $35,000-$40,000. It's really a pretty good performance car. Pretty satisfying.
Yeah. Would you recommend something like that for a 30-year-old girl that really is dying to get in a Mustang?
Yes, I absolutely would.
You would?
Absolutely would. Yeah.
Okay. And what's the? Let's see. You said you had the Mach-E, was it?
The GT.
The GT. Okay.
Yeah. The EcoBoost and the GT. So the GT is 5-liter V8 engine, normally aspirated. If I remember correctly, I think 480 horsepower or something like that.
My
I think you can get it maybe at 486 horsepower. Yeah, that's a ton of horsepower, right? I mean,
unbelievable.
Those would be dream days back in 1970, right?
Oh, we had to work hard to get even close to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not the case any longer. Well, so those are so there's the Ford product. How about electric vehicles?
I've driven.
Go ahead.
I've driven a lot of them recently. One that I've driven recently was the Kia EV6 GT.
Yes, I had that. Oh my gosh, what a car!
Kind of crazy fast, right? I mean, just almost mind-numbingly fast. I'm not sure, and I'm curious as to your take. In some ways, it's a performance car, but in other ways, I don't think it actually is a performance car. It's certainly a performance car in a straight line sense, but. What's your take on that?
Well, I agree with you. It's, it certainly has the look. I love the look of the car. The styling was unbelievable. The interior was great. The materials that they used and all that. But I drove it I only put it in the GT mode a couple of times. And, well, you know what that's like. I mean, it might be on a rocket ship. But that's not for everyday driving. I liked it. I don't know how comfortable it would be in the long term. I think the seats are a little bit too GT-ish, if you will, the wraparound stuff. And that's fine for the short period of time that I normally get the cars. But in the long term, the ease of getting in and out of the car, I mean, that needs to be considered if you're going to buy it for your everyday commuter car, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think actually the GT line, which is also pretty darn quick, not as quick, but pretty darn quick, with more range and is less expensive, probably the better buy.
That's what I would say, too. I didn't get to drive that car, but I don't need that crazy horsepower. I mean, I like it, don't get me wrong. But for everyday use, I think that not only the price, but just everything about it seems to make more sense to me.
Yeah, agree with you.
How are things going on America on the Road? Do you take calls on that show?
We take questions, but we don't take calls.
Gotcha.
We have people write in with questions or, text in with questions, and then we answer them on an upcoming show.
Do you ever get any, like, a kind of a run of questions that are kind of in the same vein on a week-to-week basis?
Yeah, we do. And, kind of continuing on from, something we answered the week before. We've had kind of a run of questions about two-seat sports cars, like, is it a good idea to have one? What are some good ones? That kind of thing. Certainly, we're getting tons of questions about EVs because we talk about EVs a lot, probably too much, right? I mean, it's still less than 10% of the market, but it's the hottest part of the market, I think, in terms of consumer interest, or one of the hottest parts of the market.
So it's America on the Road, and we can. Are you still doing True Car?
Yes, absolutely. I write for TrueCar. I write for JDPower.com. Virtually all the comparisons on JDPower.com now I write. So You can look for those.
You're my hero, Jack. I love you, man.
What about the book? The book.
Oh, the book. Yes, well, of course. Well, we've got it. We've had it up here the whole show. Dance in the Dark, Jack Nerad. And I hope book sales are going well for you.
Yeah,
and
they seem to be.
And we're going to try to help continue to promote that. And we appreciate you being with us today.
Don just wants to cover.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right,
Thanks
Jack. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks again.
Take care.
You too. Author, professor of cars, trucks, and SUVs. He is Jack Nerad. All right.
Man.
Let us do, if you don't mind, you want to do Conrad's events calendar or do you want to do the car review? Let's do the car review. Mr. Mars.
Let's do the car review.
Is it too much to ask?
No.
You have to do it from a different seat. You're sitting in Jeff's seat today.
It's so weird to be sitting over here and doing it.
Well, I don't make a habit of it. I'm used to Jeff.
I'm not making a habit of sitting over here. I can assure you.
Used to Jeff sitting there. Anyway, go ahead.
So we're talking about, this time we're talking about the 2023 Kia Soul GT line. Now this is one of the 6 trim levels. It's about a mid-trim level. It's front-wheel drive only. They've dropped the all-wheel drive availability, just like they dropped the turbo engine option out of the GT line that you could get. Now, this is considered a subcompact hatchback. It's considered a compact SUV. See, it depends on where you go and look for some sort of category on this vehicle. And it's really the last of those boxy shapes that came out with the Scion B, the Cube, the Element. All of them came out. They were all these basic vehicles.
Could you put that up there for the broadcast people to see?
Like that?
Like that. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You're doing a fine job over there.
Apparently, we're going to two different people are going to drive. So okay, so the this to me this is more of what we used to call a station wagon. It does have the big lift gate in the back like an SUV or a CUV, but the way it's laid out and stuff, I would consider the station wagon. It has no real competitors anymore. They've all left the marketplace. So we're going to find that front. We've got some unique front and rear bumpers because it is the GT line. Got LED lighting all around, fog lights that are on the GT line, tail lights. We had the body color heated side mirrors that are on it that really help. It has a sunroof. And again, back to your earlier point, crack it a little bit, let some of that heat out, makes a big difference. Had some rear privacy glass that also helped this vehicle as far as keeping the heat out. It rolls on some nice 18-inch alloy wheels, and inside we have the cloth and Syntex seating surfaces. Front seats are heated, back seats are not. It had the 10.25-inch screen up in the middle of the dash. It was a touch screen. That's where you're going to find your rear view camera. You're going to find the Kia Connect system. That's the infotainment system, and all your convenience controls that are going to be right there. It does have a wireless phone charger, front and rear USB ports, which are important, and the Carbon Harden premium audio sound system. Again, drop the turbocharged, so now you only have the 2.0, 147 horsepower, 132 pound-feet torque engine in it. It's backed by a CVT. The EPA says you should get 28 in the city, 33 on the highway. Combined, you should get 30. Now, I got 29.1 across 293.3 miles. I thought it was great, and I liked driving this car. I can see where it fits into that category quite well. It's not sets up like a big SUV. It's more like a car when you get in it and start driving it. It's got adequate power around town. It's got acceptable acceleration to get up on the freeway and to make passing. It's a little bit of road noise, and it's a firm ride, but it's nothing that you can crank up that Harman Kardon and you'll blow it all out and you won't even notice it.
I've always loved the Kia Soul. Always.
Base model on this is $21,215, so you can get in the door for $21,000. Now, the base trim price that we were driving, again, mid-trim level, $24,815, as tested, $27,220. So you're still under that $28,000 mark.
Yeah.
You're going to get a bumper-to-bumper 5-year, 60,000-mile warranty with that, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and a 5-year, 100,000-mile road assistance warranty with that vehicle.
Gimme.
You were looking for something to compare it to. There's still the Hyundai Kona for $22,140, Mazda CX-30, $22,950, maybe even the Chevy 12 Trailblazer at $22,100 to wrap it up. And that's my review of the Kia Soul GT. And if I had a need for one, I would absolutely consider it.
I'll tell you what, I've always liked them. I like the styling of them. And this particular one I drove several months ago. It's sweet, man. Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Time now. Let's get the events calendar in there, Conrad.
So tomorrow is Coffee and Chrome at the Avalon Diner down here off of the Fountains Shopping Center at 29, basically 59 and Highway 90. Also, October 20th is the 38th annual Wolf Creek Car and Truck and Bike Show at Wolf Creek Park in Cold Spring, Texas. August 12th is Cypress Cars and Coffee, Back to School Drive at the Fairfield Baptist Church. October 28th is the Oak Turbo Fest instead of October. Oak Turbo Fest at the Kareem Shriners in Waco, Texas. Lone Star Drift Round 4 is at Motorsports Resort in Angleton. That's August 19th. September 23rd, Lone Star Drift Round 5 is at the Houston Police Academy at 17,000 Aldine Westfield. And then also October 21st is Lone Star Drift Round 10 at 17,000 Aldine Westfield Drive.
We talked to the drift guy last week.
Zach.
Yeah, I was blown away. I had no clue, and it was very informative. Great guest. Yeah, truly enjoyed that. I got a couple of headlines I want to get in before we wrap things up today. Here's a reminder not to drink and drive, especially when the vehicle being driven is a $600,000 Ferrari. That was on display in the showroom of the dealership. Utah Highway Patrol troopers arrested 29-year-old last week after he allegedly broke into Ferrari of Salt Lake City and took a car on a brief joyride. Man used a rock to break the glass wall of the dealership, opened the door of a car inside the building, and found the keys on the center console. Morons. Police said he started the car and hit the interior glass, 4 other vehicles, and exterior doors on his way out with the vehicle, which was identified only as a model worth $600,000. The other vehicles reportedly sustained an estimated $100,000 of damage. The suspect was arrested by troopers who saw him walking away from the vehicle nearby. According to the man's booking affidavit, he stated, "This was a spur-of-the-moment act after he was drinking all day."
Yeah, I'm going to get drunk and go steal a
Ferrari.
$500,000 Ferrari.
Break the glass of the dealership and go in there. With the car had the keys in it.
Well, that's problem one.
Yeah, that's 2 problems there.
Yeah. Uber reported its first operating profit fueled by demand for rides and delivery, and marking a significant milestone as the company seeks to move beyond its cash-burning past. I didn't think they were going to make it. And that the CEO of the company was spending all the money as fast as it brought it in. What a mess. But who doesn't know about Uber now?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Quite the change in direction. And Toyota's Land Cruiser nameplate rejoins the brand's U.S. lineup next year in a trimmed-down and less expensive form, much closer to the off-roader's roots than its bloated predecessor, which had evolved to overlap similar body-on-frame Lexus models. The Land Cruiser will be smaller, more nimble, and equipped with a hybridized turbocharged powertrain, a host of infotainment systems, assistance, and driver assistance features, and a boxy look that evokes its early heritage. Did you see the picture of it? Kind of interesting. It'll start in the mid-50s range. Toyota suspended U.S. sales of Land Cruiser in 2021 after a 63-year run. Low-volume off-roader started at 86.8 back in the day. Crazy.
Very much in the vein of the original.
Yep. 2.4-liter turbocharged engine made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission and a 48-horsepower electric motor. And Tesla. All of you Tesla owners, here you go. U.S. auto safety regulators have opened an investigation into the 23 Tesla Model 3 and Y electric vehicles after reports of loss of steering control. Agency said it has opened the safety probe to assess the scope, frequency, and manufacturing processes associated with the issue. The probe could affect about 280,000 Tesla Model 3 and Model Y vehicles. What do you got on tap this week, Mr. Mars? Other than working on the show.
I got an invite to a Toyota event next Friday, the 11th, here in town.
I didn't.
They're going to have a few new Toyotas out there.
I didn't get that invite.
Well, they knew you couldn't make it.
Are you still a journalist? Are you still with the Texas Auto Writers Association?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well,
Still
that's
there.
why. That's why. I can't do that at any rate. Well,
Other
good
than that,
for you.
yeah.
And Conrad is doing his thing over there, and
Yep.
it's good.
Still working out of the house for Master Tech,
Nice.
aftermarket warranty.
Yeah.
Great company, good policy.
And
Learning a lot. Get a chance to see all the various vehicle lines and where their issues are.
we're going to wrap up today's show right after this. Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on In Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Lupi's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupi Tortilla. Lupi Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available on the most popular podcast channels out there in 30-minute episodes. We realize our 3-hour live show can be difficult to catch in its entirety, so now you can listen every day to a convenient, fresh 30-minute episode. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible, along with a dozen more. In Wheel Time has the most informative automotive guest interviews and new car reviews, along with popular features including Conrad's Car Clinic and This Week in Auto History, along with automotive news headlines. Our live broadcast airs every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central on InWheelTime.com, the iHeart app, and on YouTube. Be sure to say hello when we're broadcasting from the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, Autorama, and the Houston Auto Show, among others. Now, it's easier than ever to hear about all things automotive all week long. You're invited to join fellow car enthusiasts in becoming part of the ever-growing In Wheel Time Car Talk family. Don't forget those 30-minute podcast episodes on your favorite podcast channel. I had the wrong button. That's the checkered flag for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Hey, when you're online, follow us on Facebook, give us a like, tell your friends about us, and share our junk if you would, please. We promise to keep you posted on all things automotive all week long, including new car reviews, upcoming events, cruise-ins, racing events, and car, truck, and SUV goodies. And promise not to load up your feed. And you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeart Radio app and on our live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and on InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. Central Time. Daily 30-minute podcasts are available on the podcast channel you use. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is David Ainsley. Our marketing advertising advisor and video technical director is We Need More Jeff Zekin.
We do today.
Here. The booking agent and Zoom master Mike Mars. Mr. Know-It-All is Royalty King Conrad DeLong. I'm your slug around town, Don Armstrong. Hey, please join us next week for another award-winning production of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. At least we think it is anyway. Saturday, August 12th, 2023 on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network, 8 to 11 Central Time. Have a great weekend. Stay cool. Join me at Chrome and Coffee Cruise In tomorrow, starting at 9 o'clock at the Avalon Diner at the Fountains on the Southwest Freeway. See you later. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.